So basically we rent the apartment in Kowloon. Why we rent the apartment in Kowloon? Because it's way more affordable in that side. But now Hong Kong Island, the real estate tend to be way more expensive. But anyway, even though we stay in Kowloon, we also managed to take a trip to Hong Kong Island and we managed to get everything done within one day. So we have to take a trip from Kowloon Island, cross like under, I think the metro go under,
maybe over, not sure, it was dark.
But basically the metro can connect both island, Kowloon and Hong Kong Island. So we first start off at Electric Road. You will find a lot of restaurants and along the road we don't see any foreigners at all. So if you guys keen to see more of like local vibe restaurant, you can go on Electric Road and you can find a bunch of local restaurants. We start off with the beef brisket noodle, which is kind of like unique to Hong Kong food. You said they cook the beef for like 6 hours?
Yeah, for the soup at least 10 hours.
The soup is 10 hours.
Yeah, so they work very hard. They have no day off. They just only have a few days off in Chinese New Year. Right? And this is the family business.
Over 20 years.
Over 20 years in Hong Kong. Yeah. And this is one of the favorite shops for tasting this. Another favorite shop is in Central. Okay, it's a brisket, rice noodle, and spring onion.
Thank you.
The soup is so good that like you can see clearly that I finished the soup before I finished the noodle itself. As you can see, everyone finished both noodle and soup. 3 of us.
People like to buy it and stand to eat. It is a Hong Kong style of eating.
You can use the chopstick to make a hole at the center and let some gas come out. Alright? And let it cool for a second. After that, you can slap the soup and drink the soup. The bottom of the dumpling is very crispy and crunchy.
Oh, this is amazing.
Yeah, the top of the dumpling is very soft. But the filling is very juicy. Yeah.
Very flavorful. It's so different from
It's
the
so
previous
many
soup.
textures. The texture is so complicated.
So good.
It's crunchy, soft, and juicy.
Alright, I will try with chili.
Yeah, you can try the chili sauce. Another one, you can try the vinegar. Right, with the vinegar.
With vinegar? Okay.
Yeah. You can dip it or spread a little bit over the food.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, and eat the whole thing?
You can drink the soup first. After that, yeah, you can eat the whole thing.
Oh.
And let it cool for a second.
So good.
It's so good.
This is better than the beef brisket, in my opinion.
I like the crispiness at the bottom. The crispiness is really, really good.
So people come here to buy some paper offering for the worship of deceased or ancestors. So interesting. Some gold bar. Yeah, the money. Yeah.
And what is this for?
It's a perfume. Perfume.
Ah.
For ladies.
For lady?
Skin beauty. All right. Something like that.
Chocolate.
Chocolate. Let me see. Yeah.
This is perfume.
Perfume. Yeah.
So they burn the.
Yeah, it's some skin lotion, but it's old style.
So they burn these as offerings to the people that have passed away, and sometimes they'll burn like cars or like Chanel purses made out of paper.
Copy the brand name, yeah?
Yeah. Sometimes you can find the Chanel or Gucci or iPad.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All right. Sometimes you can find the chargers. All right. Sorry. It's a cigarette. You can smoke in the underworld.
Wow.
Cigarette. It's all made from paper.
Is it like based on what they really enjoyed while they were alive?
Yeah, they would burn to someone to fulfill the death they needed in the underworld. Because for the concept of Chinese, they think if someone is passed away, they will go to another world and they have nothing. So they would burn this thing to fulfill the death they needed in the underworld.
And
quite
but
interesting.
I'm sorry, but what is this one?
It's a gold bar.
Is that why they were throwing money around at the protest?
Yeah, they would. Oh yeah, it's something like that. It's
They
a paper
throw
offering.
tons of money in
Yeah,
the
it's
air.
meant for the dead people.
Ah.
The Coca-Cola.
I see them burn stuff in Vietnam, but I don't know
Yeah.
what is that.
What is the purpose?
Yeah.
Good luck.
This is.
Good. We call it good. Usually they will put at the door. The purpose is to get rid of some bad spirit. All right. The mirror. The purpose of the mirror is to reflect all the bad luck. It's a Chinese wine. Yeah. Just for the worship of ancestor. They will the chicken feet. Yeah. The soup of the chicken feet. All right.
Okay.
This is the one of the popular soup in Hong Kong. All right. Why they like eating the chicken feet? Because they think that chicken feet can refill the collagen for the body. 擺喺度先。
They also have the head there as well, but that is like it doesn't mean that they eat head. They don't eat head here. The reason why they have the head there is because they want to show people that this is specifically from goose. They love hanging all their food in front of the restaurant, so then it kind of like they believe that it can attract people more. So that's why if you see anybody hanging goose, goose, duck, chicken, that is Chinese restaurant.
And they will put a layer of the honey on the top of the food. It's make the shiny effect. It look very fresh and tasty. Alright, be careful. Yeah. So they put a lot of things in the soup. So the soup have a high nutrition value, and that's why some of the Chinese they like drink the soup for every day.
We noticed from our hotel.
It's very tasty. The soup is very sweet.
Very quiet.
Yeah, it's very quiet.
I eat bone too. Don't tell anyone. The guy told me not to eat the bone.
Because a lot of shopping mall and shops.
So you always find a day.
Something so interesting is that all of the fruits in Hong Kong actually aren't from Hong Kong. Not a single fruit is grown in Hong Kong. They're all imported, like Taiwan, China, Korea, Thailand.
Too. Mango from Thailand, guys.
This is a pear from China. That's actually way different than a pear from the US. It's crispy, really crispy, but the inside is a lot softer than the pears in the US. But it's really, really sweet. It's really, really good.
Just the label. They have a 恭喜發財. It means the good luck for the whole year.
Ah, so
It's
it can be a
the-
gift.
Yes, like the gift, alright. Just the decoration, alright.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just covered. It's so juicy, it's so good.
They have the live chicken sitting in a cage. So then people come and see that, okay, this is the chicken I want, it look good, it look healthy. And then they're gonna start weighing the chicken. If the customer is satisfied with the weight of the chicken, together with quality and everything, then they're gonna start killing the chicken at the back. So all the process happen in one shop. Right after I see that they start to weigh the chicken, I just run away. So we didn't have the food head or anything to show you guys, but just like want to tell you guys how it works here in the market in Hong Kong and how they sell out chicken and meat and fish and pig. That is how it works. We eat along the way, but it's like we get too full so quick because we ate too many food. So we managed to stop by at 2 different temples for the sightseeing and kind of like rest our stomach for a bit. So we went to Tin Hau Temple. From what we have heard, Hong Kong people originally, they are fishermen. The whole island is like the fisherman village. So Tin Hau comes as an important god for people in Hong Kong because Tin Hau is the god of sea. So that's why a lot of older generation come to this temple. If you see in Tin Hau Temple, we showcase also like the way that people make a wish, hang the incense stick on the ceiling of the temple, and not only that, but also the other way is there is like a cabinet with a bunch of Buddha statue in it, and people write their wish in the paper together with their name, and they put it there.
So they are asking for different purpose, and they will write down their Chinese name and the wish on the red paper. It lasts for 3 months. All right.
3 months. So that is two ways that people make a wish in Tin Hau Temple.
So they will ring the bell for 2 times, right, before they burn the paper offering. The purpose is to remind someone to receive this paper offering. Right? Okay.
Quite an interesting experience being in the Chinese tea house, though.
Oh, I love that because I am a big fan of tea.
Tah drank all the tea. And
they
they actually used to, back in the day, they used to have it where somebody would walk around and push a cart with all the food on it. But now they're trying to cut down on like manpower and cost. So they have a menu where you can order specifically what you want and how much you want.
It's a steamed meatball. The filling is minced beef, water chestnut, and coriander.
Excuse me, what is this one?
It's a layer of tofu skin. Tofu.
Tofu.
Tofu skin. All right.
So the tea houses have kind of changed. You don't really see many of the old traditional tea houses, but you do still see Chinese tea houses, and they are phenomenal.
So nowadays, you always find the dim sum and the Chinese tea in the Chinese tea house. All right, but they provide the dim sum only for brunch, for lunchtime, and for breakfast time only. All right. At the night time, they won't provide any dim sum in the tea house. They will provide some local dish in the tea house. For example, they will provide some steamed fish, the lobster, some goose or barbecue pork, some local dish in the tea house. And the final one is dessert. It's a sesame ball with the red bean paste. The filling is red bean, all right? Not very sweet, but the texture is very special. Sesame ball with the red bean paste. The texture is sticky and very yummy.
Now, the next temple that we went, the Lotus Temple, from outside, it's nothing gigantic or majestic at all. Instead, it's a very, very small temple, but the shape of the temple looked like lotus. And inside, they got a fortune teller, which is well known among people as he is good at predicting the marriage, like the good day for marriage. It's really good for couple to go there and kind of like ask about their love life.
Until one of the stick come out, and the number is referred to one story and one restriction. Sometimes they will tell you the numbers, and he will give you some advice for you and tell you some fortunes in the future.
Mr. Lam is there.
Yeah, he is sitting here, and someone try to see him and ask him some question about it from him. So sometimes you can see some young lady, they would like to come here to see him. They want to ask some question about the marriage in the future.
A marriage.
Yeah, especially for some young lady.
Actually, fun fact, you guys see that? The tram. You can't see the tram in Kowloon.
I've actually never seen a tram in my entire life. I've only ever seen pictures of trams in San Diego, and then I think they might have one in Toronto, but I've actually never seen a tram in my entire life.
Never as well. I only see it from the picture and from the old school movie.
Yeah, movie. After this, we'll probably explore a little bit more of Hong Kong Island, like a couple things on our own, and then probably call it a day today.
Probably call it a day, yeah, definitely. Oh, one thing that we have to mention about culture in Hong Kong as well that we explore on Hong Kong Island is that we went to the coffee shop, their traditional style coffee shop for the first time. Interestingly, they sell like burger in there, they sell toast.
And this is the Western style of breakfast.
I don't know why they call it pineapple, because it tastes nothing like pineapple. It just tastes a sweet bun with butter.
It tastes so good. Yeah.
Not so much into coffee. People in Hong Kong are not that much into coffee. Yeah, they normally drink tea with toast, and the reason why, milk tea with toast, and the reason why is because they got the influence from British.
They use different type of red tea. They use the Chinese tea as Ceylon tea and mix with some evaporated milk instead of fresh milk. All right, and
Evaporated
sugar,
milk.
like the condensed milk.
Neo. How to say hello in Cantonese? Neo. Hello.
So because we were already here on Hong Kong Island, I wanted to stop and see the monster building, which is actually in the movie The Transformers. They have made it a little bit more restricted because everybody's taking pictures on the
Nobody cares.
little things. So they put cages up, and then they put these big signs that say no pictures because it's a private building. You know, it's a private complex. People live here, so they want privacy.
High rise is everywhere. It's just a big issue because the island is like have the limitation in terms of like the area for property. So that's why they build everything up so high. The high rise is everywhere, and this is kind of like represent the how real estate is like in Hong Kong.
It's crazy because they have the most expensive property in the world right now. Because the areas are so small in Hong Kong, you want to get a pet. And so goldfish and birds are one of the options you have.
Hello.
Where a goldfish is not only good for feng shui in the Chinese belief, but it's good to have a pet.
So that's why we rarely see people walk their dog. So in Hong Kong Island, I see when people walk their dog, it means that they actually like quite wealthy to have the space for their dog, because just by having the space for themselves is really challenging actually.
Wow. So apparently, like even with all these cars, a car alone costs $2 million or 2 million Hong Kong dollars here, but to park the car for the parking spot is 6 million. That's crazy.
So this building, it is over 70 years old. And that is another fact that I would like to add for you guys. Oh, another dog. And then we decide to go to the area of Times Square to see the modern side of Hong Kong Island.
This area in Causeway Bay is really unique.
So different.
Like it's a super like upscale, clean, rich part of town. Like they have trolleys running through town. They got big shopping malls.
To me, look it. That is the longest crossroad ever. Look at how long it is. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 crossroads sticking up together. And in New York City, it's not like this.
No.
Hey.
It's a really beautiful area to walk around. So if you're going to be staying in Hong Kong and you want like an upscale area, definitely try looking into Causeway Bay. You can ride trolleys up and down all the way from Central. So Times Square here is exactly the same as Times Square in New York, just a little less billboards and, you know, neon lights, but it's like tons and tons of shopping with a main central hub of, but this one is a giant mall. That's what Times Square technically is. And I don't think they're allowed to be on the street because there's cops coming and all these guys are running. I'm guessing street selling is not allowed down here because they just took off real fast.
I know, huh?
To try and get out of the way. I think there's cops coming, unfortunately.
We have to go.
You sure do get your miles in when you're in these big cities. You get tons and tons of walking. Big city travel is a lot harder I think. I mean, in some ways it's way easier, but
We're
you
gonna
have your pros and cons with every version in every way.
We have to walk for 600 meters to the pier. We would take ferry. You'd already tell them?
Nope.
We would take ferry, guys. We would take ferry back to Kowloon Island.
This area down here is so beautiful. Like, there's Ferris wheel, there's like a little carnival with like a merry-go-round, like a bunch of little games. There's amazing shopping, amazing malls, and then this ferry. Like, they did a fantastic job with this area of the city. I really, really enjoy walking around down here. And now it makes me even more excited to get on the ferry.
Dude, I don't know where to go.
Walk this way. So if you do want to take the ferry, it's actually cheaper than the subway. No organization.
No lie. I wish there's a bathroom.
I would just pick any spots, huh? Oh man!
Shall we get here?
Yeah, sure. 12 hours on your feet will kill you, especially in 28 Hong Kong dollar sandals. I actually think the water is like pretty blue, and we have some beautiful colors coming from behind the buildings because it's a little after sunset time, so the sun has already gone down, but it's still a little warmish. It's really nice. So that ferry was phenomenal. It was really cheap, 2.5 Hong Kong dollars, right?
Yeah, 2.5.
And we had
And it fast as well.
Fast, but we had the most
think about
beautiful
5 minutes.
sky.
Oh, I think like sunset time is the best to take ferry.
Yeah, really, really nice.
Recommended.
I mean, it may be a little bit more expensive if you're taking another mode of transportation like we are, but it's not gonna be that much more, and it's really worth it just to catch sunset like we did.
You know what's gonna be the next challenge? We have to find our way subway station.
Yeah, no.
Jimmy! Say hi to the crew. Hey! We make it to Singapore!